And I am live. Hi, God's people. Come on in, and join me for this 20 minutes or so time of inspiration. If you're catching the replay, be sure to click like, click share, and follow my channel for my next live, which is going to be on Thursday night. So I'm going to go ahead and get started today. This evening, I am talking about the role that fear plays in destiny. The role fear plays in destiny. And I was trying so hard to stick with my little outline. I wanted to walk you guys through my coaching sessions and start with understanding who you are and going through the 8 week steps that I take my clients through. But my God has interrupted this plan. And what's been in my mind all week is to talk about the role that fear plays in destiny. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, woman of God. So, because I am doing this for God and not for myself, and for the person that my words are supposed to touch, I am going to deviate from my plan, and I'm going to talk about the role fear plays in destiny. And I think I know why God put it on my heart to talk about fear, because people are more fearful now more than ever, right? We just are so uncertain about the future, about what's happening in our lives, on our jobs, just everything. So I'm going to speak what's in my heart to say about fear. This is something I also walk my coaching clients through. But when it comes to stepping out on faith, going forward, I know all too well the longing, the nagging feeling of knowing that what you're currently doing, the life you're currently living, the job you're currently working is not what God has ordained for you. I know the feeling of, wanting to move forward, but having no clue how, not even knowing where to start, having no one to speak into your life. Actually, everyone around you is telling you just stay put, to just be grateful for the job you do have. Just, hold on and keep on holding on, right? Just go through the motions, just endure life, right? And it's so tempting when you have no clear vision of the next step to take. It's very tempting to listen to those voices and to stay put. I tried that for so many years, and for so many years I was miserable. I always said that I don't suffer from depression, I suffer from discontentment, right? It's like, God, if I could just find a place of contentment in my heart where I feel like I'm not on the wrong side of destiny, that not always wondering what's up ahead, right? So for so long, I thought something was wrong with me. So I prayed to God to change me. And then I realized, no, I am just not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to just sit here in this one spot and die here, right? You're not supposed to live and die in one spot. I mean, life is ever growing, right? Trees grow, flowers grow, everything has seasons. It comes, it develops, and then it falls. But only humans think that we're supposed to just stay stagnant in one spot, right? Just play it safe. Just get that house, that job, that ideal picture you have in your head, and just sit there until you die. But how many know that doesn't serve no purpose but for you to have your own sense of comfort? But even in that, you can't rest in, because here today, gone tomorrow, right? You put your hope, your faith, and your confidence in relationships, in kids, and things around you, and that could change like this. So surely that can't be the reason that God put you on this earth, because then it will remain the same. It would be something that you can really rest on. But the only thing we can rest on in this world is the promise that we have spoken over our lives through Jesus. So, the role that fear plays in destiny, fear can either be a driving force or it could be a stumbling block, right? Now, when fear is your driving force, at all costs. You're going to fight because you know what's behind you. You know where you came from. You refuse to go back. So you use the fear of what's behind you, the fear of failure to drive you to move forward, right? And then fear also can be, of course, we know stumbling block because we allow fear of the unknown to prevent us from getting out the boat and walking on the water. Or we get out the boat, and while we're out there in the middle of the sea, we lose heart, we begin to drown, or we just run back to where we came from. And, it's not so much conquering each fear, it's learning how to silence the voice of fear because there's always going to be something that you are afraid of, right? I always say, do it afraid. If you can't silence fear, do it afraid. And then while you are doing it afraid, take the time out to understand what's driving the fear, right? So there's always a root cause when you are fearful of anything, right? For myself, I always say I'm very honest with myself about myself. So I like to dissect whatever it is that's bothering me, get to the root cause, right? That actual voice of fear that's taunting me. And then I like to speak to it with the word of God because there is nothing that you have been through that God hasn't seen you through, right? It's nothing that you're currently going through that God is not seeing you through because you are alive today to tell about it, to tell of your struggles, to tell of your testimony. So whenever I'm going through something, I always look back at a similar time in my life that I faced a similar situation. And then I speak to that voice of fear with my own testimony. Like God did it before, he's going to do it again. I'm not going to be like the children of Israel that at every turn I have fear and I doubt God and I'm mad at him and I want to go back to where I came from, even though I was miserable in that place. That is the greatest trick of the enemy to keep us bound. You were miserable where you came from, when you were miserable back then. That's why you got up, got out that boat, attempted to pursue something better, attempted to follow a dream, attempted to seek what God created you to do on this earth. But then once you get out there, you look at the wind and the rain and the voices of the people around you who tell you you should go back. And then you turn back again, right? Instead of standing up to that voice of fear and telling it, you know what? The same God who saw me back then is going to keep me now, and he's going to see me on to the other side. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, the role that fear plays in destiny. I'm a faith-based life coach, a purpose coach, and people always ask me like, are you certified? And I say, no, but I am qualified, right? I could take I have 3 degrees. I have a master's degree. So it's nothing for me to take a course, get a certification, and say, I'm a certified life coach. But no, life has certified me. God has called me to speak into the lives of the people that I was ordained to touch. So if that is you and you would like to have a coaching session with me, we talk about understanding who you are. Until you know who you are, you'll never understand what God is calling you to do. We talk about the role that fear plays in destiny. We talk about understanding the journey, right? So much of our journey, so much of our purpose is found in our journey. But we don't like to talk about the journey. We say, don't tell people your business. And of course, you shouldn't tell people everything. But we try to cover up the bad things that happen in your life. When you try to cover up your flaws, when you want to just walk in this perfect picture of who you think you should be, that doesn't help nobody. It doesn't even help yourself because you're pretending, right? So helping you look into the journey, look at the journey and understand what it is that the purpose that it was meant to serve. God doesn't take us through anything for the fun of it. It all serves a purpose. Those hard times came to serve a far greater purpose than just to make you cry for a little while, right? Make you sweat for a little while. So that's what I want to talk about today, the role that fear plays in destiny. If anybody has a question for me, I'm trying to be a little bit more put together with these lives. So if anybody have a question for me about fear, about how to move forward from one place, one situation to the other, right? So I was born and raised in Miami, and I had 3 kids, and I was a single parent. I was a customer service rep at American Express. Let me tell you all of it, okay? And I remember being on that phone, listening to those platinum card members playing their lives, playing their European vacations. And this one guy told me, unlike you, I don't sit on my ass all day and talk on the phone for a living. Oh my, he made me feel so low that I was like, you know what, God, I have a brain in this head. Not to say anything bad about customer service reps. I'm just talking about myself. I got a brain in his head. I'm gonna go back to school. And I left that job and went back to school during the time of the first recession. And everybody told me I was crazy. Everybody told me be happy I have a job. Everybody told me just sit there, right? Just sit there till you die, right? But I was like, no, 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 no. Greater is in me. Greater is he that's in me. But I knew greater is she that was in me too. It was greatness inside of this lady. So I went back to school with 3 kids during the recession, single parent, and I got my first degree. And I was in a relationship at the time, and the person I was with wanted to get married. And I told him these words: I cannot sit here until I die. I have to move forward from here. And I took my kids and I moved to West Palm Beach. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about making bold moves. I don't let people discourage me. Only person you should seek for guidance is the Lord. Now, I will tell you this. I did seek God for guidance on moving from West Palm Beach to Virginia the first time, and He told me no. Everything I attempted was not falling in line. And I said, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to fast, I'm going to pray, and God is going to get on board with this plan because it's what's in my heart to do. And guess what? It did not work out. You hear what I'm saying? So it's so important to be obedient and to listen to the voice of God, silence out the voice of the naysayers, know when to fight, and know when to put up your hands and surrender to His will and to His way. You know what I'm saying? Fight the naysayers. Fight the people who tell you just to play it safe because they have no vision for their lives. So they can't support your vision because they have no vision. You fight against that. You fight against that by tuning it out at all costs. You fight against your own insecurities that tell you that you're not worthy, you can't do it, right? Because you surely can do all things through Christ. You fight against those things. But when you know God is telling you not to go, when you are doing it your way, when you're doing it God's way, and things are just not falling in line, you know you're not supposed to move forward. I am going to learn from my mistakes. You hear me, sis? You hear me, man of God? Learn for this lady mistakes. When the door is not opening, you cannot break into your destiny. You cannot do it. For one, it's all in God's timing, right? If the door is not open, it's probably because it's not the right time for you to take hold of that thing. God's grace and His protection is not on it, okay? And it's just not going to fall in line the way you imagine because it's your preference, but it's not God's purpose for you in that season to take hold of that thing. So I tried it my way. It did not work out. It was a painful time of my life. I learned my lesson. I went back to where I came from and I waited. I waited to hear God's voice and I waited to get His green light to do it again. And let me tell you, it's so much easier to live life on God's terms versus your terms. And when I had the green light from God, nobody could tell me to stay where I was at. Don't allow people to keep you stagnant. Don't allow people to cause you to pitch a tent, right? To pitch a tent in your brokenness and just sit there and endure life with them. No, no, no. You stand up. You be the example because once you go forward, then you inspire us to do the same. Then they start to tell you, oh my God, you inspire me. Now I want to change jobs. Now I want to start a business. Now I want to relocate. But when you was thinking about doing it and sharing your ideas with them, they was telling you, no, no way, don't do it, forget it, right? So tune people out, tune into the voice of the Lord, and let Him guide your heart and direct your path. So that's all I got for you this evening. Does anybody have a question for this lady tonight? I'm proud of myself. I went live at almost on time. Okay. For me, that is on time. And I took my time and put on some makeup and fix this hair because I want to be professional as I go live and share what's in my heart. So if you have anything you want me to touch on, inbox me, put it in the comments. Talking about fear this week, the role that fear plays in destiny. I have something really good to share with you on Thursday at 9 p.m., but I'll be going live in the morning for prayer. So join me at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for prayer. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Tell me you like it. Click like, click share, and comment. Bye now.